All systems go. Cleared for takeoff.
What's going on, everybody? We're back talking some baseball. 12 games yesterday, 12 games today. Coors Field nuked yesterday. Coors Field going to nuke today. I should say the Braves. I shouldn't lump the Colorado Rockies into that boat, but it's an interesting slate. Pitching, there's so many options. Hitting, it is the Braves, and after that, it definitely falls off a cliff. Before all that, though, first things first, you can see in the background behind our man Nades, it says a little happy birthday. You see some balloons. See some Green Bay Packer colors. Happy birthday, Nades. 27 years old. That is my guess. Is it 27 or 28?
It's 28. You were close, title, but yeah. Went to the golf course and come home, and there's a couple of decorations in the background. Mom or someone must have came over and sabotaged it a little bit here, but shout out to her for going crazy there. Typically not one to blast my birthday all over the place. I'm not one of those, but it is sometimes nice to show some appreciation, and so shout out to her. Appreciate that, and ready to dive in. Should be a good slate. My Orioles got the job done yesterday. The pitchers, Blake Snell, my boy, got the job done. Even outside, it was a very, very profitable night. Even being under on the Ronald Acuna fucking 70 burger, whatever he scored, 56 or something, at 40% ownership at 7K. It was pretty wild to see that. But ready to dive in. Same story, different day today, it looks like. Same kind of rinse and repeat here for the Braves offense.
Absolutely. Braves in a smash spot. Looks like a fun slate. Again, pitching all over the place. I think there's multiple options you can go. And hitting, people are definitely going to be playing the Braves, rightfully so. But there's 12 games, 24 teams to talk about. Excited to talk through this one. Before we go game by game, before we talk some pitcher, as always, wish Nate's a happy birthday. We got Gwen Thomas in here. Izzy wishing you a happy birthday. Nympho's in chat. Gator Nation. Richie Smalls. Bill B. Sean Sullivan. A lot of familiar faces. Hamwich, our man. Casey Henry. Eric Garcia. Spot on yesterday. Glad you had some success. TGH. Trevor Bryan. Sean V. What is going on, everybody? Hope everybody out there having a good Tuesday. The Tuesday is good as the birthday, man, over here. Before we go by pitchers, of course, got to shout out our partner at drafters.com. Big Marley and I will be doing another live draft, 2 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. Any questions you have, if you want to hop in a live draft with us, it's about half full at Drafters. I'm not even sure if it's half full yet. So it looks like there should be some overlay. Football season right around the corner. SHIPIT is the promo code. Check that out. And, of course, if you want to join us for the football season, it's not just one price for one sport. All sports, one price. Football season coming up, though. That's why we do have this blast-off bundle. 321, $321 for the next 6 months. Comes out to about $53 a month. Won't be able to find and beat that deal. $59 a month. Otherwise, right now, going up to $69 a month come football season. The annual is still the best deal. $599 takes you to about $49 a month. But this blast-off bundle, 6 months, projections, ownership, NBA will be here, NHL, MMA, PGA actually on a little break right now, but we'll be back in that 6 months. Head over, get in the Discord. Love to have you. And I think you'll like the product that we put out. I absolutely love it. Love the community and everything we got going at ShipItNation.com. Hebrew Cheetah, Pair by Jake Swales, Relicson. What is going on, everybody? All right, boats and hoes, what's going on? We the people. Let's talk some pitchers, Nades. And it's definitely tough. I mean, we're going to go 8K. Let's see how I want to do this. We'll go 8K and above and then 8K and below because there's plenty of guys 8K and below that are going to get ownership. So 8K and above, there's big names. George Kirby's going to be the most popular by a mile up here. Gets the nut matchup against Oakland. Highest K prop on the slate at 7.5, neutral ump. But the highest price, you got Pablo Lopez, Corbin Burns, Clayton Kershaw. Also in this range, there's Jose Barrios, Justin Steele against Milwaukee. Wind's blown in a little bit in Wrigley too, it looks like. Yeah, a little bit. West, left to right, Ross says. But decent pitching weather in Wrigley at 70 degrees. How I rank it, it's definitely George Kirby, far and away my favorite up top. However, there's so many viable pitchers on the slate, and I'll say it right now, I like Coors. I know they're going to get ownership. They had ownership yesterday. Can get different in some other spots, play a low-owned secondary stack. So while I like Kirby a lot against Oakland, he's going to be one of the most popular. I'm playing Braves. So I think there's other pivots. Like I really like the Justin Steele pivot. He's definitely going to get some ownership, but 6.5K props, some juice on the under, good pitching weather. Brewers team I'm not worried about at all. Berrios against Washington, I think is also interesting. Pitchers up behind the dish, one of the few up top. No thanks to Morton. I don't think Morton's the craziest play, but burned me as of late. 6.5K prop juice on the over solid, but no France for me. No Merrill Kelly. Kershaw's pitch count still a concern at 10-2. I'd rather go Burns and Lopez. So I'll say no of him too. But Kirby definitely my favorite in this range, and it would be Justin Steele. However, I like a lot of Braves. There's definitely viable pitchers in the lower tier, so I don't think you have to. A lot of construction. Maybe they'll start one pitcher up here. Some builds, though, are going to go. 2 cheap pitchers will be more popular than 2 more expensive pitchers on this slate. That's how I see it. So Kirby, Reagan's the popular pairing. I do like Kirby up here. What do you see? 8K and above.
Yeah, I like 3 guys up here, and it's 3 low-owned guys. Obviously, I like Coors Field tonight as well. I'm back on the Coors train, so you guys can chalk that up. It's going to be a 3-1 baseball game there. But, hey, maybe the birthday magic comes through and it pops off and we see a football score there. That's what I'm hoping for, because looking at our stack rankings title, the Braves are projected 30 points higher than the next stack on the slate. It's just hard to ignore that. So I like 3 guys up here. I like Corbin Burns. I like Justin Steele. I like both of them in that win game. I mean, it's 12 to 15 mile an hour winds blowing straight in from left and 70 degrees, dropping into the 60s by the end of game time there. Both of those pitchers rank very, very good on our rankings over here. I'll give you a little sneak peek on that. And I think both of them, I mean, they're both going to be sub 5. I mean, Justin Steele is going to get a little ownership, but as $200 cheaper than George Kirby there, he's a fraction of the ownership, $200 cheaper. And is it crazy to say that Justin Steele could go out there and match or outscore George Kirby at a fraction of the ownership? I don't think it's crazy. So that's where I'm going. I like Corbin Burns. I like Justin Steele. And then the other guy I like up here is Gavin Williams, another big strikeout arm against a very, very strikeout prone Minnesota team. I'm seeing 5% ownership, sub 5% on him as well. So really, if I'm looking to get different because I want to play those Braves, maybe I grab one of these guys up here. Obviously, we're going to talk about Cole Reagans. We're going to talk about these cheap guys. I like some of these other cheap arms as well on the slate. Alex Cobb. I mean, there's other guys down there, Dean Kramer. So you can definitely grab one of these guys. And I don't think it's crazy to play Justin Steele or Gavin Williams at their ownership. And then Corbin Burns, if I'm spending on a pitcher, would be my favorite. Pablo Lopez, I think, is fine, but Cleveland just doesn't strike out enough for me, so I'd much rather save a little bit of money there, go to Corbin Burns. Clayton Kershaw, I can't with the pitch count concerns against Arizona. Arizona has been a little bit better as of late, too, and there's no reason for them to run him into the ground there. So the George Kirby thing, I think he would be a distant 4th here, but I'm seeing 30 to 35%, maybe even higher ownership. If people do spend, it's up to Kirby. So if I'm spending to do what everyone else is doing, I want to spend to get different with a pitcher who can outscore Kirby. Everyone just looks at Oakland, right, and blind tails him. Kirby ranks okay in our rankings here, but this Oakland lineup that's projected actually is the 18th best strikeout matchup on the slate here. So I'm a little bit lower on Kirby, and I'm just looking for low-owned spends up here. Those 3 would be my favorite for sure.
Yeah, I like it. Before we get to this lower range, what did Jeff Clay said? If we purchase 3-2-1 bundle, what's the monthly sub price after the Super Bowl? It'll be – so September 11th, that monthly price goes from $59 a month up to $69 a month. So after the Super Bowl, I don't think we're going to go 69 to 79. I'd be surprised to see that. I think 69 will be the max. It's been $59 for months now. We said we were going to raise it, so we're going to. But about $69 a month is what – the monthly will be after that bundle. Yeah, who knows, though? The annual will always be the best deal. And I know we've talked a little bit behind closed doors, like after the Super Bowl, maybe we'll have another bundle or we'll leave it up there, a 6-month price that does keep it cheaper than the monthly, but more expensive than the annual. No promises there, but for sure monthly, about $69 a month. How I round out this upper range. So again, I don't love it too much because I definitely like Coors bats. I love Kirby, but I would I'm not going to necessarily don't think you need to make the rule, but like Reagans and George Kirby. If you make a rule max of one, right away you're going to eliminate a decent amount of popular combination lineups. But otherwise, like maybe I go max one, 5-man stack Braves, Reagans, Kirby, and just I don't want 2 of those 3 combinations because it's going to be pretty hard to get different after that. Kirby's still my favorite up top for sure. Steals 2, Jose Berrios 3, and I guess I like Morton a little more than I thought at first. Just a great match against Colorado. Going to get run support, of course, in Coors Field, what I don't love. Last 2 starts have been good. Before that, a little sketchy though, but 11Ks, 10Ks, he has that upside on the slate to be SP1. So I think at 8.5K, I'd actually put him 4th. Like, I think Burns and Lopez are fine, but I know on a slate that I want to spend up at bats, I'm putting Kirby at SP1 with the savings, Steele 2, Barrios 3, Morton 4. Let's go 8K and below at pitching though. And again, a lot of viable options down here. Cole Reagans all the way at 6K. Not sure what DraftKings is doing with the pricing. 6.5K prop for 6K. Very solid. Look at his last 2 starts, 11Ks, 9Ks. Then he had a 5Ks in there, 11Ks, 8Ks. Big arm, way too cheap. Good matchup against Pitt. Now, I think Pitt's really interesting for GPPs. Just the sheer fact of because of the misprice for Reagans, he's going to be really popular. I think playing Pittsburgh makes some sense in multiple lineups. I also think Reagan's rightful chalk, though. But Alex Cobb, Jose Quintana, Dean Kramer, Andrew Heaney, like all of those guys have upside to match him as well. Seth Lugo, fine as well. Throw it over to you, Nades. What do you see in 8K and below? You're on mute.
Sorry about that. We should be back now. But yeah, Cole Reagans, I mean, this is just a sheer utter misprice. I mean, 6K. Come on, DraftKings. Really just look at his game logs like the average person does and just figure it out. I mean, 6K flat against a Pittsburgh team, 3rd best strikeout matchup on the slate, and Cole Reagans has the 3rd best K matchup on the season for all starting pitchers on here. So 6K for him. I mean, people would be playing this dude at probably 25 to 30% ownership if he was 9,500 or 10K on this slate in this matchup. And now, I mean, he's 6K. So Cole Reagans, definitely an incredible play. It doesn't take me to tell you that, right? He's going to be 40 to 50% owned, I would assume. Probably even higher than that because you can do anything you want when you play him, and you can get all those Braves bats in, which everyone does. So definitely would not play him with Kirby, I'll tell you that. And I might even look at not playing him with Alex Cobb, the other guy that's going to get a lot of ownership here. I'm seeing 30 to 35% ownership against Alex Cobb. We've been targeting starting pitchers against Cincinnati the last, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I have been at least. And now you get a pretty good pitcher here. Alex Cobb ranks very, very good in our rankings. I get it. Doesn't have the greatest strikeout numbers on the season for a pitcher, but I mean, I think Hoop's son could go out there on the mound and strike out some of these Cincinnati Reds right now. So I do like Alex Cobb quite a bit. And then the other guy I like down here that's a little bit lower owned is Dean Kramer. I'm just going to continue to pick on the Chicago White Sox lineup. I mean, it's the 5th best lineup to target pitchers, opposing pitchers for strikeouts against. And I'm seeing sub 15% ownership on him. He's a little bit more expensive than Cobb. So if you want to get a little bit different, go Cole Reagans, go Dean Kramer, skip Cobb, skip Quintana, who's going to get some ownership in there. I think Quintana does. He is interesting a little bit, but it's 6,300 against a very high, powerful offense in Texas. So I think I would rather just get different elsewhere. So I really like the Dean Kramer, Cole Reagans pairing, and I don't hate the Dean Kramer and Alex Cobb if you want to even get more different than the Cole Reagans. So I like those 3. Really don't think you need to go elsewhere on any of these other guys, to be honest with you. Dean Kramer is kind of my low-owned guy down here. You do have to pay for it a little bit, but it's just a bet on the Chicago White Sox lineup and the strikeouts that come with it.
Yeah, good breakdown down here. My favorite I do like Reagans for sure, but again, I think it makes sense making a rule max 2 of Kirby, a 5-man stack with the Braves, and Reagans, just because if you play all 3, man, is it going to be a popular route? If people are playing Reagans, would it be contrarian to play the bats instead? Andrew Martinez, yeah, of course. That's why I mentioned I do like some of these Pirates too. I love this $3 150 max. DK is rolling out, so messing with that, throwing 150 in there, I will definitely have a good amount of Pirates, and I'm definitely going to play some Reagans. I think both sides. Reagans probably comes in a little overowned. Pirates probably a little underowned for leverage that way, but it's still 6K. I mean, he could get you 13, and you could still be on the winner on this slate. A lot of room for error at that price tag. Definitely love Alex Cobb, though, down here. He'd be my second favorite beyond Ragans with ownership, maybe even my first. Jose Quintana, I think, is interesting. I mean, the dude, he hasn't let up home runs at all as of late. He's not a big arm, though, so I'm not sure about the upside as much. But as a pivot right there from Ragans, I think Quintana, I'll have a little bit. He's going to be very low owned, not hard to get overweight, direct pivot in that range with Ragans. That's how I could play maybe a Braves stack, something like that, mix in a little Quintana. The last guy, I like Kramer too. I'll go right back to him. This White Sox team, bad against righties. Kramer treated us well just recently. I like this range a lot, like down below a lot more though. Like Quintana, Heaney has upside there against the Mets right in that same game. Kramer, Cobb, all of these guys. I want to play Braves. I know it's chalky. Find ways to get different elsewhere in the lineup. Like I don't love too many stacks on this slate. Jam a lot of Braves, get different a little bit at pitching. So I like this lower range. How I'd rank them, maybe Cobb 1, Ragans 2 with ownership. Then I'll go Heaney 3, Quintana 4 in this lower range. But if I'm going to rank pitching altogether, then I'll throw it to you, Nate, to round out pitching on this slate. I'm still going to go with Kirby 1. I'd rather eat that chalk over the Ragans chalk. So I'll go Kirby 1, Steele 2, Cobb 3. I'll go Dean Kramer 4. That's my top 4. What about you, Nate?
Yeah, I'm going to go up at the top. I'm going to throw Gavin Williams in there. This is in no order because I like all 4 of them, to be honest. But if I had to put it in an order, I'll go Cole Ragans number 1. It's hard to ignore the spot. It really is. I mean, I hate being a chalk donkey in baseball. Everyone knows that, but it's very hard. So I'm going to go him number 1. I'm going to throw Gavin Williams in there as a very low-owned guy, ranks very well in our stuff, and has the second best opposing strikeout matchup on the slate. So I'm throwing him in there number 2. I'm going to throw Dean Kramer in there as my low-owned guy. Him and Alex Cobb would be tied, so I like those guys. And then my other top-end guy that's going to be low-owned is Justin Steele there in that win game against Milwaukee at home in Wrigley. I mean, sub 70 degrees with double-digit wind blowing in. I'll take my chances any day of the week there with Steele or Burns. So I basically like 6 pitchers on the slate and think I would just rotate them around in MME, get different with your secondary stacks, get overweight on the Braves, and that's kind of how I would approach this slate.
I love it. Great breakdown. Again, I'm playing $150 to $3. I plan to have a pretty big pitching pool, mixing a lot there. It's more of a slate. Like if people go, some people are like, do you build pitchers first? You build hitters first, stuff like that. Today's a slate where I like building my stacks. What do I have left at pitcher? There's pitchers up top. There's pitchers down low in the mid tier, options all over the place. Like if I have 6,500 left, I have all my bats for 2 pitcher spots. You can easily make that work on this slate. So prioritizing bats more than pitching on this slate. Going to be a fun one though. 12 gamers. Ragans, Kirby, the chalk, plenty of pivots elsewhere, no doubt about that though. Let's go game by game. Of course, as always, appreciate everyone hanging out. Take a second out of your day, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, helps us out a ton. Bringing you shows every single day. Takes nothing from you guys except 1 second, helps us out a ton. We really do appreciate it. First game of the night, Nate, 12 games, buckle in just like yesterday. Chicago White Sox, Baltimore Orioles, Jesse Schultens, Dean Kramer on the mound. 80 degrees, wind doesn't look like a factor. Orioles, one of the highest totals on the slate, and coming off a big game yesterday, decent hitting weather. I mean, like Gunnar Henderson, 5.4K, Adley, 5.5, Mountcastle, 4.8, Cedric, 4.9. They're going to get some ownership, but people are going to want to pay up. If they're paying up, they're going to want to pay for the Braves. I like the Orioles a lot. I liked them yesterday. I'm going right back to them. 1 through 9 in play. The Schultens guy, righties can get to him too. It's not like the splits are way better against lefties. They're pretty split. The sample size isn't big enough, but righties, lefties, you name it. I have interest. 5-man Orioles, whatever it may be. No thank you for the White Sox for me. Like I'd rather Pittsburgh against Ragans, who's going to get ownership, than a White Sox team against Kramer, who is going to get some, but not nearly as much. So no White Sox. O's 1 through 9.
Yeah, O is one of my favorite stacks of the board. I'm going right back to the well. Love the top 6 guys: Austin Hayes, O'Hearn, Mountcastle, Santander, Gunnar Henderson, Adley. Love those guys. Seti Mullins, don't sleep on him. Down there in the 7th spot, like I said, 4,900. He's got power. He can steal bases. Don't love Adam Frazier or Urias too much down there. Ex-Brewer Urias. I believe it's the same Urias, right? He was with Milwaukee a little bit. But yeah, Orioles probably my
I
second.
think that was Luis. I think that's a
Luis.
different one.
Oh yeah. Sorry, all the Uriases, same names.
There's
it's
a lot.
Crazy over here. It's a lot to track over here. But yeah, I mean Orioles. I love the Orioles. I loved them last night. But I'm a little bit higher on the Braves, obviously tonight than I was last night. And Orioles still got the job done. I mean, looking at this numbers for Schultens, he's actually gets hit harder from the righties. So I do like the righties a little bit more here. Obviously, Adley, Santander, switch hitters there, but Mountcastle, Austin Hayes, I like those guys quite a bit. And then obviously the lefties are fine too, but he does give up more fly balls and get harder hits. And opposing hitters hit for more power from the right side of the plate. So I like those guys more. But you can really add anyone in. Gunnar Henderson over the last 30 days has been great. Santander has been incredible. Austin Hayes is good. Mullins is good. Rhino Hearn's been great over the last month too. So I like those guys. And then, no White Sox for me, just much better spots to go on the slate. And it is pretty good hitting weather in Camden, about 82 degrees, 84 degrees, somewhere in there throughout the duration of that game.
Yeah. I mentioned a little reverse splits, Sean V. But I don't think the sample's big enough. Like, I'm not going to avoid like the Adleys, the World, the Gunners. Obviously, switch hitters are going to bat from the left side. I'm not going to avoid them or go out of my way not to play them. But yes, the righties, he is a little reverse splits. Mountcastle's the World. They got cheap pieces at the bottom of the order. Again, I don't love too many spots. Right away, I'll say it. I don't love too many five-man stacks on this one. So the O is definitely one of my favorites here. We'll keep it rolling, though. Next game on this. Actually, I wanted to get to Andrew Martinez said, did you guys mention if Zach Thompson was in play? We didn't mention him. I mean, he is in play. Like Ken Waldachuk, if someone mentioned his name, like I think he's in play as well. But because that lower range, there's the Heaney's, the Kramers, the Reagans, the Quintanas of the world. I like all four of them more personally. Like if you like Thompson more than Quintana, I wouldn't blame you one bit. Plug him in there. But I just like other guys in that price range more. In my 150, and might get a couple lineups with him. But if I was only playing 20 teams or less or something, which probably most of you guys are out there, I wouldn't get to Zach Thompson personally. Better offenses to attack than the Padres, in my opinion. So 4.5K prop, juice on the under. Just other spots I'd rather, but not the craziest play. We'll keep it rolling. Next game, Washington Nationals, Toronto Blue Jays, Mackenzie Gore, Jose Barrios. Got an 8 total in Toronto in this one. I don't know, Nate. It's not a game that's really jumping out the page for me. I like other spots. Like, give me the O's over Toronto. Give me some other teams more than Toronto. No Bo Bichette in this lineup either. Bump down. No Chapman in this lineup. The bottom of the order, like Erne Clement, he's free. Santiago Espinal, he was a hero last year. Him and Kirk. Haven't seen much Espinal in the lineup, but the bottom of the order is cheap. I guess if you want to go there, no thank you. For me, though, X in this one. Man, that's tough scenes, Nate.
Tough scene. Second mute. I caught it. My mic even.
You didn't catch shit. You did not catch anything. You caught literally nothing.
Like the mic either. Like look at this. It literally lights up and flashes. So like how
you didn't catch nothing though. That's all I'll say.
I caught that smoke from Tito is what I caught. But CJ Abrams, as I was saying on mute like a donkey. I mean, what do you have? 3 stolen bases yesterday. The dude just. Is a stud. I mean, he is 4,900. He's going to be super low owned there because Barrios is going to get a little ownership on the slate, I do think, kind of in that mid tier there. So you can always play him. Don't love it though. And then the Blue Jays for me, one guy I want to bring up, Danny Jansen, 3,500 at the catcher position, tons of power, low strikeouts. You can barrel Mackenzie Gore up. He crushes lefties. So if you want a contrarian catcher play with tons of power, 3,500 is where I would look there. Danny Jansen, definitely my favorite bat in this game.
I like it. No, I'm not roasting. I just got to call him out when he's bluffing a little bit. You got to let him know, Jake. Catching shit like Aguilar out here, isn't he? That's what he's catching. But if anyone got that reference, one of the best videos of all time on YouTube. We'll keep it rolling on that note. Houston Astros, Boston Red Sox, JP France, Brian Bello, 70 degrees in Fenway, 10.5 total though. Both the Red Sox and the Astros above a 5 team total. If people do go to a game stack, I think this will be the one. Astros absolutely nuked the slate yesterday. Maybe get some more ownership because of that. I think I prefer the Boston side because I do think the Astros will be a little higher owned. Again, if you like the Astros or you like Boston, play them. Yordong and Kyle Tucker definitely like the lefties more against Bello, whereas JP France, more reverse splits. Still, I wouldn't ignore the lefties. Devers, Yoshida, Verdugo, fine. But the Stories of the world, Duvall, Turner, they got a lot of lefties in the Boston lineup, which I don't love as much. But yeah, I think this game's fine. I definitely like the Braves. They're in a tier of their own. I guess Boston, Astros, and Baltimore Nades. How would you rank them and talk about this game?
You said Astros, Braves.
Just this game and then Baltimore, the Orioles that we talked about first.
So I really don't like the Astros too much here, to be honest with you. I definitely much prefer the Red Sox side. I see it going in the chat. Adam Duvall is one of my favorite bats on the slate here. Looking at the numbers for JP France, righties actually hit him really hard. I mean, over the last month, he's striking out just 15.8% of right-handed hitters. Hitters are hitting for right around a 200 ISO, and he's got more fly balls to the right side of the plate. And guess where Adam Duvall hits from? He's locked in at the plate right now. He's got a good price point. Should be pretty low owned. So I love Adam Duvall. Love Justin Turner here. Obviously, you can always include Verdugo, Rafael Devers there, two lefties at the top. Yoshida, I think, is fine. Trevor Story, I think, might turn it around eventually. But I'd like to see, I mean, he's got a 40% K rate over the last 30 days and 48 play appearances. So I'd like to see him make more contact. But, yeah, I definitely prefer the Red Sox side in this one. My favorite bat, for sure, Adam Duvall. But Tristan Cassis is cheap. Trevor Story, I think those guys are fine. And then on the Astros, I mean, yeah, sure, you can always play Jordan. He ranks very good in our stuff over here. He is 6,100. I do want to pay for those Braves, but if you want some lower owned spends, guaranteed ninth inning at bats, I think you can obviously always play Jordan Alvarez, Kyle Tucker on any slate. Alex Bregman's been pretty decent as of late, but these Astros are, I mean, the Astros you want to play are expensive, right? They're all 5,900, 5,600, or 6K and above. So don't love it a ton. Definitely prefer the Red Sox here. Yainer Diaz, I think, is a fine catcher option. I've played him quite a bit this season. A lot of power there, but I definitely prefer Danny Jansen for the savings if I'm one off in the catcher.
I like it. Good breakdown. Yeah, people talking. A lot of love for Adam Duvall in chat. Definitely like that as well. I think Devers is very interesting. Like, if people are spending up at third, it's definitely going to be Austin Riley. When do you get a sub 5% Devers? And again, France, little reverse splits against righties, but I'm good with Devers there. I'm good with, if you want a full punt, David Hamilton. He's free at shortstop. Allows you to do a lot with your lineup, stuff like that. Yeah, I like these Red Sox a little bit. Astros side, prefer the lefties, Jordan, Tucker, stuff like that. But, yeah, I like the Boston side more. I like the Orioles more as well. So I'd rank the Astros 3 in that list. We'll keep it going. Again, appreciate that like button. Appreciate that subscribe button. If you're new, hit that subscribe, get notified when we go live, talking all sports on this channel. Next game, Texas Rangers, New York Mets, Andrew Heaney, Jose Quintana, 75 degrees in New York, 8.5 total. The Mets sitting about a little below a 14 total. Andrew Heaney getting some respect. I don't know. This Mets team, like, if I want to play him, I'm going to play the righties. There's Pete Alonso. I think he's definitely a fine play, but 5.3K. I'm going to spend up. It probably doesn't want to be a one-off. Like, no thanks to Nimmo, McNeil. No thanks to the lefties. Lindor, I guess. But I'd rather go to the Texas side for sure against Quintana. And again, I have some interest in Quintana, mainly just the pivot right from Reagan's in this range. But Semien, Adolis Garcia, like all these guys, you can go Seager, lefty, who will be unowned. No one's playing these Rangers today. They're expensive at the top of the order, not the best total. Everyone's going to the Braves or Astros or whatever other team with a higher team total if they're going to spend up for bats. So Rangers will be unowned. I think it's a pretty interesting unknown stack. One of the better lineups in baseball, like Garver in the 5-hole too. Give me some of these Rangers. No thank you really to the Mets. What about you?
Yeah, I think I'm off this game completely. Quintana just does not get hit around. I mean, he limits hard contacts, better strikeouts against lefties. Going to see quite a bit of lefties here. Four lefties in this lineup. Obviously, a very good one in Corey Seager. But I just don't like this spot, to be honest. They're expensive, and I want home runs in baseball. And Quintana just limits hard contact. He just does. He just goes out there. Not that he's a great pitcher, but he just kind of skates around. And then Andrew Heaney can definitely get hit harder, but it's still the Mets offense. Sub 4 implied run total with Coors Field, other great offenses on the slate. I'm under on this game completely.
Makes some sense. Let's keep it moving. Next game on the slate, 12 games to talk about. No time to waste. We're not trying to waste your time out there. We're not trying to waste ours. We're not trying to waste Nade's. He's got things going on tonight, I can only imagine, but still a lot of games to talk about. Any questions, we probably will have some time. You can drop them in chat. Going to another game, don't think will take too much time. 7.5 total in Minnesota. Gavin Williams, Pablo Lopez. About 80 degrees, so decent hitting weather in Minnesota. I'm not trying to pick on Pablo Lopez. Definitely no Guardians for me. Cole Calhoun, the 3-hole in this lineup. Interesting. Going to the Twin side, though, man, the Twins definitely got the job done yesterday. Big Daddy Wallner. Riza's collectible. I saw your tweet this morning, and then I was trying to respond to it if you're watching, and you deleted it. But I saw your tweet out there. Saw a lot of people talking. Wallner, absolute stud. Never fails to disappoint. I'm good going right back to him in the 5 spot. Other than that, Royce Lewis got the job done yesterday. A lot of these Twins got the job done. Sign me up for Big Daddy Matt Wallner in the 5-hole, though. Outside of that, you got the Twins right yesterday. Hamwich got the Twins right yesterday. So what do you have to say? And then Hamwich, you drop your thoughts in here. I know you're in the YouTube chat, and I'll put them up as well, since good call to you as well yesterday.
Yeah, I'm off the Twins here. I like Gavin Williams a lot. I brought him up on this slate. I think he's a good pitcher. He limits hard contact, has a ton of strikeouts, and that's what these Twins do. Yeah, they hit for power, but they also strike out a ton, 29.94% on the season against right-handed pitching at home. Gavin Williams, one of the best strikeout arms on the slate. Going to be unowned. 8,600, I think, is a very nice price point for him. So I love Gavin Williams. I'm off these Twins, but, man, Julian Polanco, I know I brought up Polanco yesterday, hit a bomb. Max Kepler, Matt Wallner, all those guys have a ton of ISO against righties at home, but also strike out a lot. So I'm on the Gavin Williams train here, off the Twins tonight. They did it for me last night. I'm not going to try and strike gold twice here in a row with this Minnesota strikeout-prone team. So I'm off the Twins and then off the Guardians as well.
Yes, Swayy P, Big Dick Wallner, Big Daddy Wallner, whatever you want to call him, man. That definitely fits the mold. He was heavy on him yesterday, paid off. Love to see that. There's Hamwich, though. He's going right back. Loves the Twins again. 1, 2, 3. And, of course, got to always go 5. Julian Polanco, Kepler, Big Daddy Wallner from Hamwich. If you always want his core, awesome. Always love checking out Hamwich's core. Very sharp in the FanDuel streets. Gets contrarian. No better sport to get contrarian in baseball. Need some low-owned pieces. Always good seeing who he's on. G. Ryzen, the slate plan. Hoop always out there grinding. He's doing the slate plan. Nades on DK cores, our projections, ownership, stack rankings, pitcher rankings, hitter rankings, everything you need. Blend, find a process, ask some questions, get in the Discord. No better price, $53 a month. It comes out to $321 for the next 6 months. Takes you through Super Bowl Sunday. And when you do join a $59 course regularly, you do get for free 4 hours of Tambo and Hoop. Talking football, talking everything you need process-wise heading into the NFL season, whether you're hunting for Qs, hunting for the millie, playing cash games, trying to be a little smarter, a little single entry, 3-entry max stuff, 20-entry max. They talk about all that, the differences in this 4-hour course, Tambo and Hoop. Get you ready for the NFL season. Check that out. Head over to ShipItNation.com. Couple games left still, Nades. Decent amount of games, actually. 7 of them. Man, we'll keep it rolling. Next game on the slate, San Diego Padres, St. Louis Cardinals, Seth Lugo, Zach Thompson. One of the better hitting spots on the slate, though, almost 85 degrees. We got a 9 total. This game's interesting. I like some of these Padres. Guaranteed 9th inning at bat, good hitting weather. And again, like if you're playing Kim, Soto, Machado, Tatis, you're not playing the Braves, which means, again, of course, I do like the Braves more in a vacuum, but this is one of the spots you could go like a Reagan's, Kirby, 5-man, some of these Padres. Going to get some ownership, but again, if people are spending up, they'll want it to be the Braves. Some cheap pieces at the bottom of the order as well. So, yeah, I have interest in these Padres. Guaranteed 9th inning at bats, good hitting weather, a little different, pretty low owned. Sign me up for them. As far as the Cardinals side, I think they're pretty interesting too against Lugo. I mean, if I had to go one really, really low owned game stack, I think this would be the one in St. Louis. So I can make a case for both sides. Give me some of your favorite bats. What are you doing in this one?
Yeah, I think I'm under on this game overall. I think the Padres are fine. Hassan Kim, Soto, Machado, Tatis, Bogarts, I think are fine. But, man, Thompson, yeah, I don't know how long he's going to pitch, but he's been great when he has come in. Huge strikeout arm there. So I just don't love it. Padres, I do think, get some ownership here. I mean, I'm seeing them as like the 3rd or 4th highest owned stack on the board. Obviously, the Braves clearing away the number 1. And then Kansas City's going to get some. Seattle's going to get some there. San Diego and Baltimore. So think I'm a little under on these Padres. I just haven't been a Padres guy all season. I've made fun of Hoop in the beginning of the year. The dude Hoop always brought up the Padres. But man, yeah, he's shipping 50K every other day. So who am I to tell him? But the Padres, yeah, I'm under on them here. I think Zach Thompson wouldn't be the craziest play at 5,600 with his strikeout arm. Because really, when you're punting a pitcher, you want strikeouts, and that's what he has. So don't hate him. And then on the Cardinals side, I mean, and it's just not great. I just don't love it too much. Tyler O'Neill is cheap. I think he's fine. He's some power. Jordan Walker, 3,500. He's got some power. Richie Palacios leading off, 2,800 at the outfield position, I think is fine. But yeah, really not a ton of interest in this game overall, to be honest with you.
Fair enough. Yeah, we're a little different here. I don't know how they can. Like Garrett Cooper might get some of the bottom of the order might get some because they're cheap, but I just don't know how Machado, Soto, Kim, like how they can get ownership when everyone wants the Braves, which is my thought process behind it. But the bottom of the order, I do think gets some. I like some of these Padres. And again, I think Cardinals very, very low owned, good hitting weather. You could do crazier. There Rizas is. He goes delete tweets tonight when they get ignored. Dude, I went to bed real early yesterday, Riza. So I woke up, saw your tweet, tried to respond, it was deleted. But hey, never ignoring you. Even if I don't like it or respond, I definitely am still seeing it. So I guess that could be the definition of ignored, but that one I did not yesterday. We'll keep it rolling. Next game on the slate. Still plenty to talk about. Milwaukee Brewers, Chicago Cubs, Corbin Burns, Justin Steele, 70 degrees, wind blowing in a little bit, 6.5 total, two good pitchers, easiest cross off in the book. Next game for me. What about you?
Yeah, I didn't know that bats were even out here. I just thought both pitchers are going to go out there and do it off in a bullpen session. So no bats for me. Like both the pitchers here, wind game, 60 degrees. Yeah, no thanks. I'm out on that.
Keeping it rolling. Next game, Pittsburgh Pirates, Kansas City Royals. Looks like what? It's going to be an opener, the Selby guy for Pittsburgh, and then it's going to be, it looks like the Andre Jackson. They went this route using him as a long reliever out of the bullpen. 3, 4 innings, 6 innings he got up last time, but looks like it's going to be an opener and then Jackson for the Pirates. And then for the Royals, Cole Reagans, 80-plus degrees in Kansas City. I think Pirates are probably the most under-owned stack on the team and offer the most leverage on the slate. It is a 12-game slate. Do you need to do it? No, probably not. I will definitely be playing an overweight on Pirates stacks myself, though. It's just all the leverage in the world. Good hitting weather. They're really cheap. Guaranteed ninth inning at bats. You can do whatever you want with them. As far as the Royals side, you said you had some interest in the Royals. I think they definitely make some sense too. They're also cheap. They're going to get more ownership, no doubt. I'll let you talk about the Royals side, though. I definitely like some of these Pirates, though. More game theory than anything, but 50% pitcher just because the sheer fact, really. I mean, he has been good, no doubt about that, but the sheer fact of his price, the price mistake, I will sign up for some of those Pirates bats. The thing is, I definitely want the righties. Reagan's really tough on lefties, so the Brian Hayes of the world, Connor Joes, McCutcheons. Not sure if the lineup just came out or not, but yeah, it just came out 12 minutes ago. Give me the righties, though. What do you see in this one?
Yeah, I think Brian Hayes is one of the best plays of the slate in terms of leverage factor. I mean, over the last month, the dude has absolutely smashed left-handed pitching, and now he gets a pitcher that's going to be 50+% owned, I would say here. So I like him quite a bit. Andrew McCutchen, yeah, definitely the righties because he definitely gets hit harder from the right side of the plate. He's very good against lefties. So give me the righties for Pittsburgh as mini stacks. Brian Hayes, Andrew McCutchen, Connor Joe if he's in there. This Peguera dude, second base, if he's in there, I think he's fine. So like some of those guys is leverage, sheer fact that, hey, Cole Reagans probably isn't bulletproof by any means. Obviously, he's been great. Pirates do strike out a ton, right? 28% against left-handed pitching on the road this season. But it's just a sheer I mean, if you give me unowned Brian Hayes, I mean, he's hit double dongs, triple dongs before. So, I mean, that's the way to get to the top. Even if you do play, you play Cobb, you play Kirby, you play those chalk pitchers and the Braves. I mean, if you have a one-off Brian Hayes against the chalkiest pitcher on the slate, that's how you get different in baseball. It only takes one swing of the bat there. So I like him. And then on the Royals side, I think the Royals are interesting. I mean, Bobby Witt, Salvi, Melendez, Nelson Vasquez has actually been really, really good. He's 3K flat, hitting in the 5 spot tonight. Outfield 3K. Drew Waters is cheap. I think he's fine. So I do like these Royals. The Royals are going to get some ownership here. I'm seeing them like the second highest owned stack on the board, because if you look at their price points, they're really easy to fit with those Braves. When everyone wants to play the Braves, allows you to get one of those top end arms. Most people are going to grab Kirby. So if I do that and play the Braves, I'm going to grab a lower owned guy up the top, like a Justin Steele or a Gavin Williams or Corbin Burns, just to get different and not play Kirby and Alex Cobb or Cole Reagans and then these Royals and the Braves is kind of how I would approach that. So definitely have to think about how you play them, because they are going to get ownership, likely going to be the second chalkiest stack of the board in terms of mini stacks to pair with those Braves when you look at the price points. But yeah, I do think they're good plays.
Fair enough. Sign me up for some of these Pittsburgh bats over KC, but again, just a lot of leverage game theory. Know what contest you're playing in. Is there 30,000 people like that $3 150 max? Are you playing the 121 with 500 people? Are you playing a $5 single entry with 15,000? Whatever it may be. If you're playing a field of 20 people, maybe you don't got to go 5-man Pittsburgh stack. I'd actually recommend you not doing that. If you're playing a $30,000 contest, though, got to be 29,999 people. That's when you embrace a little more variance, play lower own plays, get leverage, all of that. So know what contest you're playing in, but more large field stuff. I think the Pirates make some sense. And I mean, even in a 100 field contest, they'll be very low owned. Ownership gets skewed more. The large field, $30,000 person contest compared to 100 person contest, ownership is going to look a lot different that way too. So sign me up for these Pirates, long story short. Couple games left, 4 games left on this slate. The ultimate one to talk about, Coors Field, Atlanta Braves, Colorado Rockies, Charlie Morton, Peter Lambert on the mound. The Braves about a 7.5 team total. The Rockies sitting at about 4.5. I mean, sign me up for any of these Braves. Lefties, righties, 1 through 9. They're expensive for sure. The cheapest bat, 4.7K, Orlando Arcia. I mean, I don't know really what else I need to say. Yesterday I said I liked them. Wasn't a hot take there either. They were the chalkiest team for sure. Sometimes you got to eat some chalk. You weren't going to find a 5-man Braves stack was on pretty much every single winner yesterday. Could have had the right Twins and maybe competed, but you needed Acuna, some of these bats. Sign me up on a slate like this one. I don't really love. We got 24 teams, but it's not the best hitting slate. I expected a little better. Sign me up for these Braves, man. Enough options to get different at pitching, throw a secondary Pirates, something like that. As far as the Rockies against Morton, I always like trying to go to the opposite side of Coors. I love the park, decent hitting weather, but man, I really don't like this Colorado lineup. Morton's been solid, so not much interest. What do you see?
Yeah, I mean, I'm on lockstep with title tonight here. I definitely prefer the lefties. I would start with the lefties: Ozzie Albies, Matt Olson, Eddie Rosario, Michael Harris. The lefties have smashed Peter Lambert. He's been definitely better against righties. I mean, he's got a 25% strikeout rate against the righties, and a little bit less fly balls to the right side of the plate too. So I definitely prefer the lefties. I mean, lefties are hitting for a 256 ISO over the last 30 days, just a 14% strikeout rate to the left side of the plate. So give me those lefties and then pick your favorite righty. Ronald Acuna definitely going to have a lot more ownership. I think he comes right around the same ownership, especially with the pitching. He's probably even going to be higher owned right after the 70 burger on DraftKings, the 52 or 53, whatever he scored on, or 70 on FanDuel, 50, 52, 53 on DraftKings. I think he comes in probably the highest owned bat on the slate, because especially with these pitchers, I mean, you can do anything you want with the bat. So I might be a little bit lower on him, which is definitely scary. But I mean, 1 through 9, water boy, coach, whoever you want, manager, whoever you want, play those guys against Lambert here. And then the Rockies side for me, I just can't do it. Charlie Morton, I think, is a good enough pitcher to keep me off. It's a bad offense. I get it. It's sometimes ballparks and weather just don't make a team good, right? You still have to make contact with the baseball, still have to put it in play. Sometimes that's a struggle for these Rockies. So love the Braves. I'm in lockstep with you. I'm back on the Braves, so you can get all slander in the chat that I'm stroking the Braves again. I took a 1-day hiatus, and now we're back.
Try to warn you yesterday, man. You're listening today, though. Sign us up for the Braves. No hot takes over here, but again, it's how you play them. Don't be plugging in. I mean, I guess you can't really just say 1 through 5. They're expensive everywhere, but you can't play Reagan's, Kirby, or like Reagan's, Cobb, Albies, Acuna, something like that, where everyone's going to go. So if you plug in the Braves, I'll definitely have plenty of Brave stacks. I'm not fading. I'll just make sure I get different at other spots when I do play them. Yeah, if you want to play buy Braves stacks and fade Acuna in them or something like that. That's how you get a little different. Rizzo's going to fully fade Acuna last night, double my money. That hurts to say because I was over 2x the field. I had like 50% Acuna and still lost some cheese. So it's the life of the GPPs, man. If you ain't first, you are last, especially with these payout structures nowadays. But we'll keep it rolling. We got 3 games left on the slate. Yeah, we appreciate that like button. If you want to head over, join us at SHIPITNation.com. Best deal right now. Actually, the best deal, $599 annually, takes about $49 a month. The second best one, though, 6 months, $321. Takes you to about $53 a month. NBA, NFL, PGA, MMA, best ball, NHL, every sport going on right now that we cover. Tennis is going on. Pick it. We got a portion in Discord there. A member has absolutely been crushing that. College football, you have a portion in Discord too. Completely free with your package. It's not something that us admin over here are touting or in there grinding, but a lot of knowledgeable members posting screenshots, helping others out. So if you want the college football streets, tennis streets, we do have a Discord portion that people are talking in it all the time. 3 games left. Not much interest for me in the Oakland Athletics, Seattle Mariners, Ken Waldichuk, George Kirby, 7.5 total. Definitely no interest in the A's. However, the Mariners, Ken Waldichuk, not very good. The bullpen for the A's, not very good. Some of these Mariners bats, man, scorching hot. Teoscar Hernandez especially. Julio Rodriguez goes deep yesterday. J.P. Crawford, Dylan Moore. Don't have this lineup out yet, but plenty of hot bats. Waldichuk, not good. Bullpen, not good. Not the best hitting environment, but yeah, Seattle going to get some ownership, rightfully so. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I do like Seattle a little bit here. Teo Hernandez, Dominic Canzone, I like those guys quite a bit. Dylan Moore, I brought up Dylan Moore yesterday. He did well for the price, 12 or so DraftKings points, I think. He's still cheap. You can play him at shortstop there if you don't want to play Arcia. So I like him. I think they're a fine mini stack. I don't think I'm going to 5-man stack Seattle in this ballpark on the slate because you need someone that's has the opportunity to outscore the Braves or match the Braves upside, and I just don't think the Mariners have that here. They could do it. I just like the other parks better. I might look at Boston or Baltimore, one of those teams, kind of like I did last night in Baltimore. So Mariners for me, mini stacks, and then, no Athletics for me against George Kirby. But I wouldn't think it's the craziest thing. Lawrence Butler, his 2K with tons of power. I think he's fine if he's in there. Low strikeout guy. It would really just be the low strikeout guys. Lawrence Butler, Jordan Diaz, my 2 favorite guys because they're cheap, they're unowned against the chalkiest high-end pitcher on the slate. I don't think it's the craziest thing, but not a ton of interest overall.
Yeah, other spots I like more. Like I like Baltimore more than the Mariners and stuff too. So if I was only playing a couple lineups, they'd be left out. But I still think they're probably in my top 5. Man, these Braves, Pirates, mix it up, low ownership there. We'll rank them at the end. I think that Padres Cards game, very sneaky. Mariners, though, bad A's, bullpen, Waldichuk, not good. They definitely make sense. I do like them. No interest in the A's one bit. Going to these other games, though, I don't know. Cincinnati Reds, San Francisco Giants, Brandon Williamson, Alex Cobb, 70 degrees in San Fran. Williamson's not very good, though, so some of these Giants, I think, are fine. Williamson been a little better as of late, but some of these righties, like Wilmer Flores, is always crushed. Lefties, probably get Slater pretty cheap at the top of the order. I don't know. I'm just trying to get low ownership, mini stacks. Definitely wouldn't 5-man the Giants. It'd be a mini stack with the Braves, something like that. No thank you to the Reds. I like Cobb, though. If anything, it would be an X, but I think keeping some of these Giants in for mini stacks should be cheap. Make your lineup work isn't the worst thing. What about you?
Yeah. First, before I do that, can we talk about what the Angels are doing right now? Their front offense literally must have just blew up in flames because they just released Giolito, Moore, Lopez, Hunter Renfroe, and Randall Grichuk today.
Grit these guys and let's dump them.
Yeah. They just put all those guys on waivers. Poor Ohtani, man, the best player in baseball, best player possibly when it's all said and done in the history of the game, as long as he stays healthy. And this is what they're doing to him. What a shame. The Angels are just a disgrace. What a joke that is. But we'll hit on that when the Angels are back on the slate.
Who did you say? Sorry to interrupt. I thought you were going to be done. BCM.
Yeah, I'm going to hit on BCM's comment right now. I was just looking at that. Julio Rodriguez, Eugenio Suarez, Teo Hernandez, Dylan Moore, and Canzone are my favorite guys. And yeah, Julio Rodriguez will steal bases, can hit for power, and he's great locked in at the plate right now. So I do like him.
Yeah, you're right, Sean V. I said Teoscar might be one of the hottest in baseball. So I wasn't wrong. He is one of the hottest, but Rodriguez is definitely hotter. He's on another planet.
Yeah. So, but this game, the Reds Giants, yeah, just really no interest to go here. Alex Cobb, one of my favorite pitchers on the slate, and then I just can't do it with the pinch hit concern, especially against the lefty. As soon as Brandon Williamson leaves, I mean, a lot of these guys are going to get pulled because typically the Giants load their lineup with all right-handed sticks against left-handed pitching, and then once the righty comes in, a lot of those guys get yanked. So 12-game slate, no interest in this one for bats. I do like Alex Cobb, though.
We're in lockstep there. We got one game left on the slate, and then again, get you low-ish own. We'll get you top 3 stacks, low-ish own pitcher, dong of the day. We'll get then out of here. All the content going up at SHIPITNation.com. Check it out. It's last game of the night. Pretty warm in LA again. 80 degrees. Arizona Diamondbacks, Los Angeles Dodgers, Merrill Kelly, Clayton Kershaw. No chance I'm picking on Kershaw, regardless of the pitch count. Even if he goes 70 innings, no chance. As far as the Dodgers, I mean, they got to Gallen a little bit yesterday. Get another good arm in Merrill Kelly, but it's what's going to win, the great offense of the Dodgers or the solid pitching in Merrill Kelly. I think the Dodgers are fine. There's definitely other spots I like more. I always talk about the bottom of the order, like James Outman, Jason Hayward, whoever they got down there that's a lefty, Peralta, scared about getting pinch hit for when a righty comes in after, and the top of the order can always play him for sure. Like kind of what I said about the Machados, the Sotos of the world, Mookie, Freeman, Will Smith, Muncy. They're all going to be lower owned because if people spend up, they're going to spend for the Braves. So you get them lower owned that way. So just, I guess, in that, talking it that way with the Dodgers ownership on a slate like this, there's cheap pitching. Could do crazier things. There's other pitchers I'd rather pick on the Merrill Kelly, though. So I don't know, man. Not too much interest. What about you?
Yeah, this game's a no for me. I mean, Max Muncy, sure, if you want to, but really don't love this game. Don't love picking on either of these pitchers. Not that I'm going to play them on the slate, but yeah, no bats in this one for me.
Here we go, Nades. That was all 12 games. Great stuff. As always, we're going to get you top 3 stacks on the slate. We are definitely not going to be able to say the Braves, though. That is cheating. I'm going to go number 1. I'm going to go Baltimore. Talked about Baltimore earlier. The first game of the slate. Good hitting weather. Again, I do prefer the righties a little bit against Jesse Schultz. He's been a little reverse splits, but still, like I like Gunnar Henderson, Adley, 1 through 9 there in play for me. Number 2, I'm going to go with the Padres because, again, I think people aren't going to go. I like that. I think it's an interesting game stack, but people aren't going to play 1 through 4, 1 through 5 for that matter, because if they are spending up, they're going to go to other spots. Good hitting weather. The ball should be in play. I like these Padres number 2. I'll go number 3. I'm going to go with the Pirates, man. And that's, again, on a 12-game slate, it's just so much game theory. Reagan's going to be so popular just because of the price. If Reagan's fails, that means the Pirates will succeed 50, 60%, whatever you think the ownership is. Down the drain, you're competing with 40%, 50% of teams. And how many of those teams even have the Pirates that way? 5-man, 3-man. Again, I wouldn't be doing a 100-man contest of 5-man Pirate stacks, but I do think they will be under-owned for their chance at the optimal. So I'll say them at 3. And then you'll not like Zach Thompson given the Padres couldn't hit Waino. Well, no, I mean, the Padres not hitting Waino has nothing to do with me liking them, of course. It's a completely different pitcher. It's daily fantasy at the end of the day. Daily. It's baseball, man. You succeed 3 out of 10 times. You're a Hall of Famer. Wainwright, he'll go out there once in a while and throw an okay game, but I'm throwing that one out, scrapping it. That was long-winded, though. Number 1, I got the Orioles. Number 2, I got the Padres. Number 3, the Pirates. Of course, the Braves. You cannot say. Break it down, Nate.
Yeah, I'm going Baltimore number 1 for sure. I love Baltimore here. Number 2 for me is going to be those Boston Red Sox in Fenway there. And then number 3 for me is going to be the Kansas City Royals. I think the Royals are definitely interesting, but like I said, Brian Hayes is definitely one of my favorite one-offs on the slate. If I had to pick a 4th, it would probably be the Mariners, personally.
I like it. Yeah, Padres have been bad. I don't blame anyone for not clicking that button. But again, another reason ownership will be very low is what I'm expecting. Let's go to low-ish own pitcher today. I'm trying to think. I'm going to say Justin Steele. I don't quite know if he qualifies for low-ish owned, but he's not going to be top 2. We know it's going to be Reagans. We know it's going to be Kirby. I do like Justin Steele a lot against these Brewers, though. Saw Gator Nation yelling at me for chirping the Brewers. Can't be – I mean, I'm a fan of the Brewers, but it's all the way down here. DFS, money, all of that. I'll cheer against the Brewers any day of the week if I have to. Wind blowing in. Pretty cool, though. Not worried about this Brewers lineup. Give me Justin Steele.
Yeah, I'm going to go $900 cheaper than your guy there, Title, and I'm going to go Gavin Williams against those Minnesota Twins, who I was on last night here. I think he's got a ton of strikeout upside at 8,600. Good price point to pay. Yeah, even if he does give up a bomb or two to some of those Twins, I think he can match it. Gets you 7 or 8 strikeouts here. I'm calling for Gavin Williams at 8,600.
There we go. Let's go. Dong of the day, Nades. I'll throw it to you first. Can't get yelled at this time. Who do you got for us?
Can't get yelled at this time is correct. I'm going to give 2. I'm going to give 1. I'm going to give the automatic one. I'm going to give a lefty for my favorite stack, everyone's favorite stack, the whole world's favorite stack, the freaking Atlanta Braves. It's going to be all the way up at the top. 6,900, not Ronald Acuna. It's going to be Matt Olson at first base there in the 4-hole for all you trolls in the chat. Not the cleanup spot, the 4-hole, Matt Olson. And then I'm going to another cleanup guy, the 4-hole hitter for the Toronto Blue Jays, a value catcher. If you don't want to play Sean Murphy, go down 3,500. Danny Jansen going deep off of Mackenzie Gore.
I like it. My dong of the day. I hope you're right, King of Smack. I don't love the Twins much, but I do like one guy, Big Daddy Wallner, Big Dick Wallner, whatever you want to say. He gets the job done every single time. He gets it done again today. Matt Wallner, one off, little mini stack. That's how I prefer the Twins in the 5-hole. Him with Kepler, something like that. Wallner goes deep again. Good stuff as always, Nate. 12 games. It's a fun slate, man. Pitching, hitting, pitching ownership, pretty concentrated. Other spots to get those outside of the Braves. Ownership should be pretty spread out. Nades, any final thoughts, man? Hope you have a great day, great night, great birthday.
No, I appreciate that. I appreciate all the birthday wishes in the chat. Good luck to everyone. Let's keep running good here. NFL right around the corner. $321, man. Get in now. That 6-month package is unbelievable. And you guys haven't even seen the NBA product that we're about to roll out, including the projections. I mean, I was out there in the live final with my guy Tambo. He had 3 seats out there. The projections, I mean, we got simulation, we got everything for NBA. That hasn't even started. That's included. You get some of the NBA season there, plus the entire NFL season. NHL, I'll be heading up the NHL product here. Had a very, very, very profitable NHL season last year. If you guys followed me on that, many of you have likely known that I love NHL. And yeah, time is now. Get in, $321. That's incredible. And don't forget about Title. The Title loves free money, especially overlay. Drafters, man, those best ball streets, there's still a ton of overlay out there. See if you can take down the reigning champion, Titletown himself, right here, one of SHIPIT Nation's own. Him and Marley continue to do amazing shows for best ball, amazing rankings, continually updating that, and get in there now. The best part about it is you don't have to set your weekly lineup. I mean, it grabs your best players. So as long as you draft good, listen to these guys, go through the drafts, you kind of set it and forget it. Come at the end of the year, and hopefully you're 300 stacks richer at the end of the season. So definitely do that. I appreciate all the birthday wishes. It's going to be a fun day. It's been a good day. But more importantly, good luck in your contest tonight for sure.
Yep. Couldn't say that any better. Awesome stuff as always, Nades. We always appreciate you out here, giving the people some winners, having some fun. Hope you have a great night. 28 years old over there. Everybody wish Nades a happy birthday. Hit that like, hit that subscribe on the way out. Head over to shipitnation.com, all of our site, rolling up on the site. That's going to do it, though. For Nades, I'm Titletown. Good luck, everybody.